Have you ever wondered what really lies behind the billionaire lifestyle? The one that seems wrapped in gold, power, and privilege. When we hear the word billionaire, our minds instantly race to images of private jets slicing through clouds, mega mansions overlooking oceans, and exclusive parties filled with the world's elite. But here's the twist. That's just the highlight reel. The real story, the one that truly matters, is often hidden behind the scenes. Good morning, everyone. Today, I invite you to look past the luxury, past the glamour, and ask, what truly defines the billionaire lifestyle? Because the truth is, it's not the wealth or the possessions. It's the journey. A journey paved with sacrifice, failure, grit, and an unshakable belief in something bigger than themselves. While it's easy to get lost in the flash of success, what we rarely talk about is the decades. Yes, decades of work that come before it. Most billionaires didn't start with wealth. Many began with a wild idea, often one that was laughed at, doubted, or outright rejected. What carried them forward wasn't luck, it was resilience. Imagine working endless hours while the world doubts you, facing rejection after rejection, yet showing up every single day. That's where the true essence of a billionaire's life begins. In those early stages, when nothing is guaranteed and resources are scarce, they learn to adapt. They learn to innovate. And most importantly, they learn to rise again and again after each fall. This process doesn't just build businesses, it builds people. It sharpens their vision, strengthens their will, and defines their values. Every milestone along the way is more than a win. It's proof of what they've overcome and a glimpse of what still lies ahead. Success, despite how shiny it looks from the outside, is never a straight line. It's a winding road filled with restless nights, silent struggles, and moments of deep doubt. There are days when giving up feels easier than going on. But it's precisely these moments that give success its meaning. Isn't the destination sweeter when the climb has nearly broken you? This journey isn't just about building empires or bank accounts. It's about building yourself. It's about discovering what truly drives you, what you're willing to sacrifice for, and what legacy you want to leave behind. That kind of personal growth? It's priceless. And no amount of money can buy it. And let's not forget the friendships. The real ones. The kind forged in the fires of adversity, not luxury. Billionaires often speak of their humble beginnings with pride, not because they enjoyed the struggle, but because it shaped them into who they are today. Those days of hunger, hustle, and hope. They're the reason they keep chasing new challenges, long after they've made it. Because the journey never ends, it just evolves. People often obsess over billionaires' net worth, their yachts, and their assets. But what most don't see is this. For many of them, money isn't the end goal. It's simply a tool, a way to build, to influence, and to serve. When they realize that wealth without purpose feels empty, they begin to seek something deeper. True fulfillment doesn't come from the number in your bank account. It comes from using that number to change lives, to build something meaningful, to create impact. That's where the real power of money lies. And here's one more truth. No one reaches the top alone. Behind every successful billionaire is a team, a group of believers, dreamers, and doers. These aren't just employees. They're vision carriers. A great leader doesn't control. They empower. They build environments where people feel seen, heard, and valued. The best teams are born from a shared mission. People aren't just motivated by money. They want to matter. They want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And when they are, magic happens. So, next time you look at a billionaire, don't just see the wealth. See the story. See the sweat, the sleepless nights, the sacrifices. Because that is what defines their lifestyle. Not the luxury, but the legacy they've built on the back of a relentless journey. As we explored earlier, the billionaire journey is not defined by luxury. It's defined by growth, grit, and the people who walk alongside you. At the heart of every great success story is a team. A group of passionate individuals driven by a shared mission. And at the core of every powerful team is a leader who knows how to inspire, trust, and empower. When people feel connected to a larger purpose, they bring more than just their skills. They bring their passion, creativity, and determination. A visionary leader doesn't just set goals. They paint a clear picture of what success looks like and make sure every team member understands the value of their role in achieving it. Clarity creates commitment, and commitment creates movement. But none of this works without trust. Trust is the invisible glue that holds high-performing teams together. Without it, collaboration crumbles. True leaders understand that trust isn't given, it's earned. Through consistency, through fairness, through integrity. They don't just give orders. They stand beside their teams in hard times and celebrate alongside them in moments of victory. Trust also means giving your team room to grow, even if that means allowing mistakes. Because mistakes are not failures. They're stepping stones. They're moments where courage meets uncertainty. And a leader who fosters a culture of trust creates a space where innovation thrives, where people feel safe to push boundaries and take bold action. Leadership is also about seeing the greatness in others, sometimes before they see it in themselves. It's about understanding each person's unique strengths and weaknesses and putting them in positions where they can thrive. It's about mentorship, coaching, and creating pathways for personal and professional growth. When people feel like their leaders are truly invested in their success, they don't just work for a paycheck. They commit to a vision. They become partners in purpose. Of course, when success finally arrives, and the money, influence, and recognition come pouring. So it's easy to get caught up in the rewards. The privileges can be intoxicating. Freedom, power, options. But the mark of a truly exceptional billionaire is not how much they enjoy their wealth. It's how deeply they embrace the responsibility that comes with it. Wealth isn't just a reward. It's a tool, a platform, a chance to do something meaningful. It can shape industries, change lives, and even shift the direction of society. But only if it's used wisely. Privilege without responsibility leads to isolation. But when used with purpose, it becomes a force for transformation. It's tempting to think of wealth as something to protect or preserve, to see it as a shield from the world. But that mindset limits not just your growth, but the impact you can have. True greatness lies in seeing wealth as a seed, something that, when planted in the right soil, can grow into opportunity, change, and legacy. Billionaires who embrace responsibility don't view the world as revolving around their success. Instead, they understand that real fulfillment comes from lifting others as they climb. They invest in more than just profit. They invest in people, in causes, in solutions. Whether it's through philanthropy, social entrepreneurship, or mentorship, they look beyond themselves and ask, how can I make a difference? Responsibility also means thinking long-term. With great wealth comes the power to shape decisions that ripple through industries and communities. Every choice carries weight. A billionaire must think beyond the next quarter and consider the next generation. What will be the environmental impact of this project? How will it affect employees? What kind of world are we building? In a society that often idolizes wealth, status, and recognition, it's easy to forget the quiet forces that sustain success. But those who achieve lasting impact know the truth. Humility and hunger are everything. Humility keeps you grounded. It reminds you that no matter how high you climb, you didn't do it alone. It protects you from arrogance and opens the door to continuous learning. The truly great never assume they've arrived. They remain students, curious, open, and aware of how much more there is to learn. And hunger, that burning desire to keep going, to keep growing, it never fades. Even after reaching extraordinary heights, the best leaders still ask, what's next? They don't rest on yesterday's victories. They chase new goals with the same fire they had on day one. Humility and hunger. These two traits are not just important, they're essential. Without them, success becomes a dead end. With them, it becomes a launchpad for something greater. So, while the world may see billionaires for what they have, the truth lies in who they've become and what they choose to do with it. As we just explored, humility and hunger are the twin forces that sustain long-term success. But how exactly do these values show up in the everyday lives of billionaires? It's not just in speeches or books, it's in their actions, their mindset, and the way they lead others. Behind every major achievement lies a powerful truth. No, one does it alone. Billionaires don't climb to the top by sheer willpower or brilliance alone. Their success is the product of collaboration, long hours of disciplined effort, and yes, sometimes a bit of well-timed luck. The smartest leaders understand this, which is why they give credit, share knowledge, and build others up. This is also why they coach, why they mentor, why they empower their teams. Great leaders don't hoard wisdom, they spread it. They guide others not from a place of superiority, but from a deep sense of responsibility. Being humble means understanding that no victory is ever final. No matter how much wealth or influence you accumulate, nothing is permanent. The world is in constant motion. What makes you relevant today could be outdated tomorrow. One trend, one shift, one disruption, everything can change. And that's exactly why humility is essential. When you stay humble, you stay open. Open to feedback, open to learning, open to ideas from unexpected places. You're less likely to fall into the trap of arrogance, a trap that has ended the careers of many once successful people. Arrogance whispers, "You've made it." But humility reminds you, there's always more to learn. This mindset keeps your curiosity alive. It fuels your personal growth. And it ensures that every new conversation, every challenge, every moment, even the smallest, has something to teach you. Sometimes the greatest lessons come from the most unlikely sources. A junior team member, a customer complaint, or even a failure. But let's talk about hunger. Not for money, but for meaning. This isn't greed. It's not about chasing riches for their own sake. It's about the drive to grow, to contribute, and to do something bigger than yourself. Hunger is the restless energy that says, good is not good enough. We can do better. It's what pushes leaders to ask more of themselves and their teams. It's what drives them to innovate, to take risks, and to challenge the status quo. Hunger is what keeps the fire alive, even when success becomes routine. When the applause fades and the excitement of previous victories dulls, hunger is what gets them up in the morning with purpose. Without hunger, success plateaus. It becomes stagnant. But with hunger, every obstacle becomes a doorway. Every setback becomes fuel. Every project becomes a chance to make something truly impactful. The most powerful leaders, those who leave legacies that last, are the ones who never lose this hunger. But here's the key. They balance it with humility. They don't pretend to have all the answers. They treat every success as a step, not a destination. They view every mistake as a lesson, not a label. And they never stop looking for a better way. This combination, humility with hunger, is the real engine behind innovation. It's what drives progress. It's what keeps visionaries from settling. And it's what allows them to lead not just with authority, but with wisdom and heart. So let's return to the idea of the billionaire lifestyle. It's easy to get caught up in the image. Private jets, luxury mansions, designer suits. But the real story? It's internal. It's a mindset. It's a relentless focus on vision, purpose, and legacy. Wealth can bring comfort, yes. But comfort isn't the goal. The goal is to build something that lasts. Something that serves. Something that outlives you. So if you're chasing the billionaire lifestyle, don't chase the money. Chase the meaning. Don't aim for luxury. Aim for legacy. Because in the end, it's not about what you own. It's about the value you bring to the world. Thank you.